See, I would like everybody to give lot of attention to this presentation. Correct? As I told you, if you are going to make your career in recruitment, and if you don't have these qualities, correct, there are two options. One, you leave recruitment. Option number one. Number two, you build those qualities. So it is this way or that way. All great things, big things cannot happen, with indecisiveness. Correct? So this is out of whatever I have felt in last 18, 19 years of my career. This is something which is very close to my heart, and I would like you to give a lot of attention to this. Correct? A lot of these qualities we are all aware of these qualities. Correct? But if you are a recruiter, then how that quality is applicable to recruitment, that is important. So these qualities are in the context of recruitment. Right? So I would like in every slide I would call a person, or I would ask somebody to take that initiative to briefly what they understand, then I'll take it from there. Communication skills. Vishal. So, can you just quickly tell me how important communication skill is for a recruitment person or a recruiter?
Communication skills is a platform with which you come close to the candidate. Your voice and the intensity and the tone of the voice speaks how much genuinity, how much honesty, how much clarity is there in what you're communicating to the candidate. And if you, while expressing, I have observed this, if you stop or if you take some time, then the candidate gets the feeling that there is some doubt or there is something fishy. So it would always be very important that what I do is that before calling a candidate, right, I make it a point to speak to myself certain things, that this is the way, or write it down on a piece of paper. After writing down on a piece of paper, right, I can see that, and when I speak with the client, with the candidate, right, then I don't take a lot of time, and there are also moments at which I tend to be a little bit paced, because I also at the subconscious mind, the thought is going on, right, then I'm using his time. So in a very short interval, right, I have to communicate the message. So
excellent.
Very important.
Excellent. See, you know that this is one thing. If you don't have, as a recruiter, you are missing out on the whole thing. This is the very first step, and this is also the last step as well. Because either you're talking to a client, you're talking to a candidate, or you're talking to somebody, correct? So, from recruitment perspective, this is something which is very, 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 very important. Communication doesn't mean ability to speak in English. I think, please don't misunderstand. Communication could be in Hindi also, could be in Gujarati also. If a candidate is talking to you in Gujarati, you can speak to him in Gujarati or in Hindi or any other language. So that is not important. Important is whether you are able to communicate with him everything clearly, whether you are able to build that confidence and credibility, and then
convey the message that you want to
convey the message. Very important things. Most important is, this is in all the recruitment process, you are talking to him, communicating with candidates, communicating with clients. So one skill you must have is communication. If you have good communication skills, but you don't have material inside you, that communication You are not able to express yourself
So
completely. Correct.
one point to add to this is that suppose as you mentioned, right, if you are very well acquainted with Gujarati language, right, then it should happen that you give a professional touch to it. Then it should not happen that in Gujarati, right, you come down to a regional level, or then you come down to a level, right, at which is a bit unprofessional. I mean, or if you speak in Hindi also, because I believe, right, that we are the professional level.
No, I think this is again a mindset. This needs to change.
Okay.
There is nothing professional, nothing unprofessional. If I am a consultant and you are a candidate, correct?
Right.
Everything is happening, it is very private.
No.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Please understand. Suppose there is a candidate with whom I have already built a rapport, and he is fine talking to me in Hindi. I don't have, because even if you talk to him in English, he will slip into Hindi. Because he is looking at you as friend, he is looking at you somebody whom you would like to interact, engage and everything, correct? So, I mean, that can happen. So communication is not about languages, Hindi, English or whatever, correct? It's about communicating it's about connecting with that other person at deeper levels, correct?
In fact, one thing to add to what you said, that what happens, sir, that initially when you come in touch with the person, right, then there is a superficial contact. As you associate more with the person, right, then you come close to him. So there are, even in communication and relationship building, right, there are primary levels, there are secondary levels, there are tertiary levels. So what I was trying to say is that you need to have a rich vocabulary also. I mean, if you have some knowledge.
That is what I said. Communication without material.
Right. Material, I was referring to vocabulary.
Absolutely. So that material has to be there. That is something which you can develop.
Right.
That is something which is for you to develop.
Perfect.
Second is understanding client requirement. How it is applicable to us. If you as a consultant is not clear in terms of what to get from client, you have to clearly ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless and until client is not giving you clarity on all these 6 points, don't start work unless and until he has not given you clarity. So that is an important element of communication. You get the clarity from the other person, what he wants you to do. Correct? Convincing and explaining candidates. Again, communication skills are very important with candidates. When you're dealing with candidates, it's very, very important that you are able to, see, ultimately you have to first connect with him. So he is comfortable with you. Once he is comfortable with you, you explain to him the requirement. Right? And then, at a certain level, he should also have confidence in you. That, because he is not seeing you in person, correct? So that's where communication skills, that's a skill that needs to be sort of developed. Okay? So client, candidate, and also when you're networking, correct? The right use of terms, words. See, if you're standing somewhere, one is not able to know whether you are a consultant or a recruitment consultant or whomsoever. Okay? But once he starts engaging with you, he knows that who the person is, what is that he is offering, what is that other person is looking for. So communication skills is something which is very, very fundamental to this thing. Right? IT skills. IT, Daksh, IT skills. How IT skills are important?
Sir, in a trending way, we can use the internet and computers. We can get the faster work as we can done before. So we can increase the productivity, then we can get the maximum